Hello, viewers. Welcome to the special podcast called Unblockers, where we celebrate young minds and their road to their success. Our special guest today is Shreya Seshadri, who is one of our students here in Unblock. Shreya Seshadri comes with diverse interests like chess, Bharatanatyam, studies, etc. She is here to share her experience where she got through a young global scholar program, which is rarest for a student coming out from 10th grade. Let's jump into this podcast and understand her whole experience in this particular program. Hello, Shreya. Welcome to this podcast.
Hi, thank you for having me.
How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
And I'm doing good as well. Okay, Shreya, we know that why are we here. So we are talking about your AL experience and how did you crack that and how what was your experience, overall experience out there, right? So
Yeah,
before that, I just want to understand more about yourself.
yeah,
I know about it. I just want the viewers to be known about the same.
sure. So right now I'm in the IBDP program. I'm in 11th grade in Greenwood High. I just finished my 10th grade also in Greenwood High, and I'm just settling into IB. So I'm continuing my chess. I'm spending time with my Bharatanatyam, trying to also go into various other fields because college, and I also want to learn more rather than just the skills I have right now. And yeah, my French is going on. I've had a new interest in learning new languages, so Spanish is an addition in IB. I'm interested right now in economics, math, and computer science, so I'm doing that. Yeah.
That's north, south, east, west.
Yes.
uh, it's forming the overall globe, baby.
Yeah.
So, what is your combination that you have picked up in your 11th IGCSE grade?
So I've taken economics higher level, computer science higher level, and math higher level. And my other standard level subjects are English, Spanish, and physics.
Wow, that's great. So let's dive into this particular podcast where I want to understand how did you crack this AL experience or again AL program and stuff, right? So before that, I also want to tell the viewers that she's a 99 percentiler in her ICSE exams, which I cannot really miss. So she's doing Bharatanatyam, chess, 99 percentile in her ICSE plus this particular program, which makes a unique profile for Shreya.
Yeah.
Shreya, the first one that I want to ask is how did you come to know about this particular program?
So I think it was exactly a year ago. So this year's applications have opened up again today.
Okay.
So yeah, we were just like we knew about Stanford and Harvard offering these programs, and we've been thinking about it since eighth grade. But then an opportunity didn't actually arise for me to apply. And my mom just sent me a link, and we were just going through the sample application, and we were very interested. So I said, why not apply for it? At the very least, I'd get a learning experience, a reflective experience. So yeah, we just applied for it and went for it.
Okay. So is this program given by all the other Ivy League colleges?
Yes, so Harvard opens up a little later, but Harvard offers it. UPenn offers it. Stanford offers. A lot of UK colleges also offer summer programs. A lot of Indian colleges also offer summer programs. So these
Oh,
pre-college programs are there for high school students to get a feel of college life.
okay. Any Indian colleges that you are aware of?
Ashoka and Flames offers. I heard.
Oh, okay. Ashok. Got it. Those are private universities. Got
Yes.
it. So once you knew about this particular program, did you apply for any other program apart from AL?
No, so the plan was if I didn't get into Yale, I would apply for the Harvard one. So, but fingers crossed.
Got it. How was the application process? So you got to know about the program. That that box is ticked right now. So you went through the particular program list. So how did you prepare first of all, and then what was your application process?
So the application is like any other college application. Actually, I calculated this year's acceptance rate was 20%. So it was pretty
20%.
steep. Yeah. It's overall, it's about yourself, what you do, what your beliefs are, what your opinions are. So they obviously asked for family and personal information. Then there was an activities list about your extracurriculars, your passions, your community service. And they also asked for a transcript, which is important because academics again come
Yeah,
into
that is true.
play. Yeah, and also they asked for an essay, which again brings out your interests. And the very important thing was for me to be authentic and to show my real self. So that was an important part. And yeah, so preparation wise, not much. It was just about what I've done so far, and I just wanted the college to know about that.
I hope or I believe that this is your first any kind of a college or a program filling experience, right? Like, how
Yes,
did you
yes,
really prepare? Like, you were seeing for the application for the first time.
yes,
Usually,
yes.
you know what, like, even for the masters, people would take a day or two to fill a application program. So, how did you really like? How much time did you take? And like I understood there is a lot of academics involved and extracurricular also involved, right? So what do you think is a percentage role of all these things, right?
Okay.
And overall, what is your first experience of filling a college application at the age of around 15?
Yeah. So I think once I saw it, I was a little overwhelmed by the number of like pages and questions that they asked for, but it's obviously very necessary. So I think the important thing was for me to immerse myself in the process. Obviously, I had help from my parents. It took around easily a month to be very happy with and satisfied with my
Mm.
application. In terms of percentage, obviously academics, they're around 40% definitely. They really look at it and how you've managed in an academic setting. Extracurriculars also are pretty around 40%, I'm sure, and also your essays come into play around 20%. But it's very obvious, important to be authentic in your essays. So academics and extracurriculars had a major chunk in the application.
So just be authentic, make
Yes,
sure your academics is good and you just
yes,
portray the same, and also try to have some extracurricular activities,
correct.
and that's it is what you would really tell.
Yeah,
Okay. So, and this was happening in parallel with your school, if I remember, right? So
yes,
you were also taking classes with us, and you were
yeah,
also preparing for your exam, and you were also doing this in the parallel. Got it. So, okay. Now coming on, like once your application is done, you have sent the application. Is there any application fee that you have to pay?
yeah. It's $75 for each application. So
Okay, but the program is free, right? Like the
no,
overall
no,
cost
no.
of the
That is
program.
also a
Oh,
paid
how much is
program.
the how much is that,
So
basically?
including residential, like the dorm, food, and tuition, it was around $5,000.
$5,000. Okay, so basically you were just paying the application fee for the first
Yeah, and
with
then
the
once I
application progress.
accepted the offer,
Yeah, got it. So once your application is done, how much time does it take for the approval? Is there anything in between?
right. So what I did, I filled it in the early application deadline, which means I would have to submit it by November. And by December 21st, I got my offer. There is another pool known as a regular decision, like normal college, in which you submit by Jan and you get to know by March. So by December 21st, I was, aware that I had gotten it. But in between, there was a lot of communication between me and the college to, just to make sure that everything's good and everything's, received and stuff.
Got it. So you had told me that there are a lot of academic tracks, right?
Mm.
That the program is offering,
Yeah.
and I also was surprised to see that you've chosen a slightly untouched kind of a thing, right? At least for a student like you who is good with
Yes.
science, math,
Yeah.
and obviously I knew that you had taken economics in your ninth and 10th grade. Can you just brief about this academic tracks that AL offers, and plus why did you choose your own track?
Yeah. So there are four academic tracks that Yale offers. The first one is the STEM part of it. It's called Innovation, Science, and Technology, and obviously it involves a lot of math and physics and chemistry. The second one is LPC, Literature, Philosophy, and Culture. It's more on the creative side, on the cultural aspects. The third one is PLE, the one I chose, Politics, Law, and Economics. And the fourth one is SGC, Solving Global Challenges. It's more of a leadership side. So actually, I've always been interested in economics and the data science part of it. But when I saw the PLE, I was kind of interested because I've never done the public policy or that the legal side of economics. So I was definitely keen on doing that. Like you said, a major decision for me was between the science, the STEM, and the politics law part. But I think in the end, I wanted to try something new, maybe. So I went for PLE.
Got it. So, okay, just breaking from this, can you just share and then explain one so it'll be better?
So Yale offers four academic tracks. The first one was the STEM part. It's called IST, Innovations in Science and Technology. Obviously, it is very heavy on the physics and math part. The second one is called LPC, or Literature, Philosophy and Culture. It's more creative. It's about cultures. It's about writing, reading, literature. This third one is PLE, the one I chose, Politics, Law, and Economics. And the last one is called Solving Global Challenges. It's more of a leadership program. So the reason I chose PLE was actually because I've always done the math and the data science part of economics, but I've never touched the legal standpoint. So I was going through the website and I was very keen and interested to learn something new. So I wanted to do the politics law part.
Great. Okay, that's a great brief. So you choose political law and economics, and you have filled your application, and you've got your congratulation mail as well, and you
Yeah,
would do your small payment. Like it's not small, but you would still make the payment, and then you're ready
correct.
for your program, right? Like when did the program start, and when did you leave to the program?
So they Yale offers 3 sessions for this program. So you can go as per your convenience. They also ask you which session you would prefer. So I
Right.
went in the second session, which was between July 2nd and July 14th. Um,
Okay.
yeah. So and also we had other family events in the US. So actually we left around June 28th, and
Got it.
we did some stuff, and then I went to the program.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think you had got your results by then, which was
Yeah.
good, right? Which was
Yeah.
good and a relief
Yes.
as well to have this program with an open mind. So and I hope like having like you're studying in ICSE grade and you're doing schools, right? Like you're just going to school and not
Yeah.
staying in a hostel or a residential
Correct.
place actually in 8th,
Correct.
9th, 10th grade. So, and also this time the cohort is huge as well and diverse as well, right? Like the people are coming from so many countries. We can also just talk about how many countries and what kind of people did you meet and what was your first sight of experience or maybe first sight feel that you had when you met cohort, also the college itself. How did you feel and what was your experience? And this is the first time, right, that you're
Yeah.
going for such a big college or a big
Correct.
Ivy League kind of a college and stuff. Yeah, what's your experience there?
So honestly, it was like stepping into a fairy tale. The campus is like you can't even imagine. It's so beautiful. And
Right.
I had lectures and seminars in the Sterling Memorial Library or the Humanities Quadrangle, and I felt so inspired. And in terms of the people I met, I my roommate was from Cyprus and South Korea. Actually, one was from Bangalore in Sarjapur Road only, and we met over there. And I think we clicked instantly, even though we came from such different backgrounds. Had something in common, that we were interested in what we were doing, and I think we could discuss about it, and that was a very good part. It helped me think on an international level. It broadened my outlook, and I think that was very important. In terms of the dorm, I think it wasn't very difficult, but obviously, staying away from home for 2 weeks and with new people, with new teachers, new peers, it was a little difficult, but I think I adjusted well. And one thing was the cafeteria food. It was actually my favorite part of the day. The
Wow.
desserts were actually wonderful. They tried to make Indian food. It didn't work out very well, but yeah,
Yeah. Like I don't think many would also know there is a country called Cyprus, and that's how right the cohort can be in
exactly.
such a college, right? Like they bring
Yes,
in lot of thinking, lot of like, and again the overall program is called Young Global Scholar, so
correct.
that only talks about like how big the program is, right?
Yes,
So can you talk about what's the number per session?
yes.
You told there are 3 sessions, and you were the part of second session. How big is the this particular program? And also, we can also talk about the scholarship opportunities for students who are applying from India.
Yeah. So each session had around 600 people. So in total, there were 1,800 uh, you know, global
This is a
scholars.
complete cohort you're talking about.
Yeah, the complete cohort. So in terms of financial aid and scholarship, YYGS does offer financial aid. If you apply for it, they ask for all your details and stuff, and when they send you the offer, they will inform you whether or not you got the scholarship. But yeah, 150 plus countries, 600 students is the numbers are just honestly crazy. Right now, when
Correct.
I think about it, when I look back, I'm like, I can't believe I met so many new people from
And
so many
also
countries.
20% acceptance
Yeah.
rate, right? Which is just quite less as well. Like, to be very frank, for masters you have a better acceptance rate considering you have so many colleges out there,
Correct. Correct.
and you also applied for only one college.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So right now you were in that particular atmosphere where you are with this cohort, spending time, having food, and going around the campus, looking into historical libraries and seeing a lot of things, right? But the overall motto of you going there was to attend few lectures on your PLC. So can you just brief? Like, I understand talking about this 2 week program in a 5 to 10 minutes is very difficult. Nevertheless, like, I want the viewers to know more about it. So can you talk about the lectures and the
Yes.
lecturers, like, who were taking up this particular program, and how was these sessions?
So I'll share my screen into this one.
Yeah.
So YYGS offers four main components in a program. The lectures and seminars were honestly like beautiful, I think I would say. So lectures, every single student will attend the same lecture, and I had four different ones. So each of these lectures are delivered by visiting Yale professors who are also maybe part of other Ivy League colleges. So the first one was about AI, its domination of the world, its regulations. The second one was about the effect of inflation on show business economics, which means on streaming platforms and other TV channels, etc.
Oh,
The third one was about evolution of human rights, their history, their progress, etc. The fourth one was actually, I think, my favorite. This one was about spying, spycraft, and its regulations. The lecturer was very enthusiastic, and it was very obvious that he was very passionate about what he does. So I think that was very interesting. Um, Seminars are in a more smaller setting. You can pick and choose your own seminars from a blue book. And these are the four that I picked. Angrynomics is actually a book, and we spoke about this book over two classes. It's about if equality is actually needed. The second one was called Philosophy, Psychology, and the Meaning of Life. This one was also very interesting. It was about the history of, the evolution of philosophy and philosophical terms. The third one was my favorite, Gastro Diplomacy, or the diplomacy of food. How food can play a huge role in, political discussions and international relations. And this was actually pretty cool because recently in the G20, millet was a big part of the political
yeah. This year is also
scene.
called as World
The
Millet
year of
Year, and
millet, correct. So it's very exciting to relate to it. The gig economy, the last one, was also a very important one for me because India has such a huge gig economy. And it was interesting to see the difference
can you tell
between,
something about this gig, like people who don't know
yeah.
what is this gig economy?
So it's defined as like a contractual basis of work instead of a full employment. Let's say in a corporate, this you can take as Swiggy delivery, deliveries and Zomato
Delivery
and that's
partners,
when,
you mean?
yeah, delivery partners. So that is the gig economy, and it was interesting to see the difference in the gig economy between, let's say, the US and India, and how here it's not that they want to work in the gig economy is because they are forced to. There's no jobs for many people. But in terms of the US, it's more of a, a wishful job. It's a supplementary income. So that was
Correct.
a big difference that I wanted to talk
Correct.
about.
So the yeah, that's a great point actually. Like, I being actually very connected to these particular topics, I feel really grateful that you went through it this particular age, and understanding and maybe realizing as well, right, is a great thing. uh, and this gig economy is a biggest money puller as well, to
Correct.
be very frank, and that is how even India can really progress, and that's also
Yes.
one of the big things, right, that is happening. Yeah, but there are also disadvantages with
Yes.
respect to that. It's not properly regulated. There is no
Correct.
life
Correct.
insurances provided.
Correct.
XYZ, right? There is a lot of details
Yeah.
involved.
So I
So
was the
yeah,
only Indian in that seminar. So everyone was talking about, this is the advantage of the gig economy. And I was also talking about how there's no insurance for the workers. So it's very interesting to see the difference in opinions of everybody.
right. Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's different in US actually. So
Yeah.
that's
It's a
how.
supplementary form of income for them. So
Correct. And also like whenever do that, they also get the benefits of that particular
Yeah, correct.
company and XYZ for that
Yes.
particular time. Okay, so that simply shows how interesting was this
Yeah.
topics, right? So
Yeah.
thanks for going through this particular slide and also making viewers understand what kind of lectures they can expect in PLC in AIL
Yeah.
program.
Yeah. And also, just briefly about there's a project at the end that you do with a group of students. So we did the China's Belt and Road Initiative and how it affects the world. And there's a symposium which is more like an MUN sort of a setting, and the topic was climate change in Asia and the Pacific. So there's a lot of discussions and role plays and research. So yeah.
So Asia is getting that main stage everywhere. That's that's really clear out here.
Yes.
Yeah, great lectures and a great overall capsule of this particular project. So, what was your takeaway from this complete program and also this lectures?
So I think definitely that uh, overall discussion, I feel like is such an important part. Of one thing I slightly regret maybe is being actually afraid to voice my opinions sometimes. But when I watched, the 150 plus countries, people from all over the world, talking, just discussing, just sitting down for like hours on end, talking about something is really beautiful to see. I think so. That was a very big takeaway for me to just be confident and voice your opinions, whatever happens.
Got it. So sometimes it's also good to hear so many
It
opinions.
is.
You
It is.
learn a lot, right,
Oh,
when
yeah.
doing that. Right, yeah, so when like these kind of programs comes with the extracurricular that you do, like post your lectures, post your seminars, you might go around the campus, and there might be some cultural events hosted, and I also know that you performed there. So can you talk about this extracurricular part of AIL program, which is also really exciting, so maybe you might remember much about it as well, right? So can you just talk about that particular experience?
So this cultural program happened after the end of week one. So we all, whoever was interested in it, could audition, and you get selected, and you could perform at the college. So I did a Bharatnatyam for about 4 minutes, and it was so exciting because everyone was so interested. They all asked me questions at the end, and I felt so inspired. And my friends took a video of it. They weren't able to understand what was happening, but they were so interested to learn about it. And there was also a Mexican ballet that I saw that it was honestly so beautiful. There was a tap dance. There was someone who was doing stand-up comedy. So there was a whole range of events, which was really again emphasizes the fact that it's an international community. Also, same weekend, there was something called a tech talk type of an event. So you could talk about, just for 2, 3 minutes, just talk about what you're interested in. It might not be included in what you're learning in the program, but if you want to share, you can. There was something about tanks and their uses, and if Percy Jackson or Harry Potter is better. So there's a lot of engaging activities.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a TED Talk slash maybe a small debate, a small conversation creating programs looks like, and also this extracurricular make sure that people don't like. Sometimes what happens is they would have judged you or XYZ, but once this happens, they feel happy about like
Yeah,
how grateful that you have learned that sometimes, right? And also
sure.
whoever had would have judged you, like they would open their overall horizons to different kind of you as well. Yeah, so once this program was done, then maybe you were back to India, and I also saw your blog. I'll also put that blog in the description to people to read about your overall experience. So once you're back here, PLC, you're doing your economics, I understand, in your 11th grade. So how do you think this will help you in future, right? This particular program, and people out there who have really not done this with you, right? They might have missed or for any reason for that matter. What do you think they are missing right now, and also how it might affect your future decisions with respect to learning, or maybe taking up a career out of this or something like that? So how is this helping you in future?
So, like I said before, the politics and law part is not an avenue I would want to pursue as a career, but it was a very, interesting and fascinating time. So, I think I would be able to apply those learnings. In terms of the overall, thing that YYGS taught me was definitely confidence. that you are surrounded by 150 plus countries, and that is a very good opportunity. So I think it's taught me to be more confident and more open to other opinions also. And for people who couldn't do it last year, please do it this year. Applications just opened, and again they close in a month. So I think even the application process is such a turning point, because those questions really make you think about what you believe in and what you think. And if you get the opportunity to go there, I think it would be one of like a beautiful time. So YYGS has taught me definitely confidence and openness. I think those two are the main things. In terms of my future, obviously this looks good on college applications, but apart from that, it shows that I am, and everyone else who attended this is ready to learn, whether or not we are wrong, whether or not we've done it before. I think this is a very good opportunity to start that learning process, and whatever I've learned here will help me learn again in the future. So
Great, great, Shreya. So, as we are coming to the end of this particular podcast or slash interview, so I just want to highlight how important it to be busy in a student's life, right? And also, second thing is also to look at these kind of options. I won't call it as an option, the complete track, right? Where you start recognizing early about which subject do you like. Right now, you went with politics, law, and economics, and you've streamlined to economics with some bit of data sciences linked with your strength, right? And at this particular age, I don't know how, like, it is really, really important, and it will really help you to make decisions and also help students to make decisions. And that's the overall takeaway from this particular podcast, where I want students to involve in different things when they're studying, also try these kind of programs and get that global exposure so that they can have different ideas moving ahead, rather than taking some time in 23, 24, 25, which is not
correct,
bad, but still that will save up your years out there
correct,
as well, and open your overall avenue to different cultures, different laws, different politics, and how it really matters in your particular field as well, right? Like economics, right now you know how politics and laws influence your economics, right? So that's great. And right now you're pursuing 11th in your in IGCSE Greenwood. And your subjects are economics, physics, mathematics, and computer science, right? So what's your next step? Like once this is done, so I understand economics with data science. Is there any colleges here in India offering that kind of a role? Because I am not sure. What about the future plans, like for
correct,
bachelors with respect to data sciences in economics?
correct. So in terms of colleges, I am mainly focusing on the US and a little bit on the UK. So the thing is, Ivy League colleges, I was aspiring to apply to them, but they offer bachelors of arts in economics. So maybe that is not something that is suited for me.
So this
But
particular thing
yeah,
comes under Bachelor of Science.
sciences, yes,
Science. Okay, you want to stay in the Bachelor of Science. That's actually also important, to be very frank, when you learn
yes,
something like computer science. But
correct,
you want computer science, that meaning data analytics or data science or XYZ with economics. So
correct.
great, great. All the best for your future, Shreya. And I
Thank you.
know you will be doing great things. With that, just keep all your extracurricular going on. You know how important those
Correct.
play a role as well in this particular application. And thank you so much for this particular podcast and taking out time in doing this. I know
Thank
it has
you
been
for
delayed
having
for
me.
some time.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, and all the best for your future, and all the best for your future learnings and future overall. Yeah,
Thank you
thank you
so
so
much.
much.
Yeah.